So my name is Joni Rakipi, and I've been part of the core team of the Roche Digital Innolab since June in 2022. So it's been almost a year now since I've been part of the team, and I've learned a lot, and I've interacted a lot with startups, and also learned about the challenges that occur in such an organization, such as Roche. I'm doing this as an internship alongside my studies at ETH Zurich, where I'm completing my master's degree in management technology and economics. And ever since I joined ETH Zurich, I also have developed a passion for startups, accelerators, and entrepreneurship in general. And at ETH, I've also been involved with a student organization, the ETH Entrepreneur Club, where I've been a member of for almost 3 years now. And now I served as the president of the club, where I try to connect the dots within the ecosystem and also try to push forward the technology and research that happens inside the university, and also connect that with the corporates and the ecosystems and the ecosystem of Switzerland, Germany, mainly in the DACH region. There are many examples that I can bring back from what I've seen at universities. So one thing that I'm really curious about is how in academia you can commercialize the research. So there are many people that do a PhD project, and that's also one way that corporates can work with, or already work with academia, because most of the corporates fund these PhD projects that happen. So there's already innovation and research being done. But what's more interesting to me is how you can commercialize this research. How can this go beyond just a thesis or a doctorate that can stay at the shelf at the university, or for example just be used by a corporate, but how can we open it up to the whole world? And that's, for me, it's interesting, because you can commercialize these research projects by building a spin-off or by making it into a startup and opening it up to the world. And that's a beautiful process as well, because apart from just research, you also have to manage the startup in different levels. Like, you need to have a business model, you need to manage different stakeholders, and you have an impact on the society through this research that you do from the university. For example, what we do at the ETH Entrepreneur Club, we create a hackathon called the InCube Challenge, and this is a great idea because it came back in 2017 from the Swiss government, where they approached ETH and they said, okay, look, there are so many companies out there like Apple, Google, that have been startups and now are turned into successful corporates, and people are still not acquainted with how this process started. So like, there is a founder in a dark room just solving creating a product in a dark room, and the public is not aware how you can build a startup. So how can we make this more transparent? And then ETH gave this problem to the ETH Entrepreneur Club, and we took it literally. We said, okay, there's a dark room that people don't see, so let's make it into a glass cube, so it's still a room and it's transparent. And we want everyone to see what's happening inside the glass cube. So that it's a strategic decision from us to place these glass cubes in public locations across the globe. So we've been at MIT, we've been in South Africa, where actually the Swiss embassy and the Prime Minister of South Africa cut the red ribbon towards the cube. We've been in Zurich, in prime locations in Zurich, in Lugano, in Basel, in Singapore, etc. And in many, many years to come, we're looking forward to new locations, just so that the public that walks near the cube can see, okay, there are students, what is happening there? And they go interact with the students, and then the students ask, and then the students say, okay, we're innovating in here, so like, this is what we're doing, and they all fall in love with the process. And then maybe tomorrow, these people that have just seen the cube, tomorrow they want to be founders as well. Yeah. So it's very important what the mission and the aim behind the InCube Challenge. It's not just a fun project inside the cube, which is for students, but it has a much bigger impact to the society. So that's actually a very good question. I think at the moment, I would love to see a bit more entrepreneurial mindset and also activities, and more entrepreneurship being promoted in universities themselves. Because students at school, they're used to completing a task at a certain deadline and then just go through a normal process. So like, they're being prepared to just work and follow instructions instead of being creative about challenges and problems. So, for example, one thing that we do at ETH, we try to encourage the professors to be more entrepreneurial and to help the students to, after a thesis, they can introduce them to their network, to a network of mentors, to a network of supporters, and they can build a spin-off out of their thesis. They can build a startup, and not just like, okay, you finished your semester project and now on to the next thing, and that semester project dies down or something like that. And what we do at ETH, we have introduced a Dandelion Entrepreneurship Award, which is an award given to professors that, of every department that are the most entrepreneurial ones. So it's a small prize that we give to them, a financial prize, and they're incentivized to promote spin-offs, to promote entrepreneurship, and to just help the students to also see a bit beyond their project. So there are many different approaches that startups can take when they want to start working with a corporate, but there's also something that I'm also personally very interested in to explore more, is like, how do startups perceive working with corporates? Like, is it more of a threat or an opportunity for them? Because it could be a threat depending on the probability regime of their IP, for example. They can say, okay, my product is in a weak probability regime, so then it could be stolen by a company. So they perceive it as a threat. Or they could say, in case a company invests in me, they can also follow up on that investment because they have the capacity to do that financially, and if they're interested, they will support me along the whole way. So this is more of an opportunity side. So there are two different aspects that is also worth studying, how from a startup level this collaboration with corporates is viewed, but also from a corporate level it's very beneficial to work with startups because corporates are like, let's say, the big giants, or like a big shark. And then there are startups that are more agile, like little fishes that can, let's say, always adapt and adapt and change to the recent changes in the market. And they're more flexible than a big corporate. So in order for a corporate to experiment and to discover new things, it's crucial to collaborate with small companies such as startups, because they can adapt and pivot like this